Hiya folks, so we're in March 2021 now. Lockdown's not been lifted yet, but we're after a date when we're now allowed to come and visit our boats and do work on them. So I'm down here on good old Sally Jane, and I've been taking care of some more of the broken bits that have been done on the boat. And whilst I was going through it, I thought it'd be worthwhile me running through some of the things that are wrong with my Sealine S28. Now, a lot of these are age related. Some of them are down to poor maintenance by previous owners, and some of them are stuff that has been broken just due to age or misuse or whatever, and in the process I'm upgrading them. So this will also kind of relate to a later on video where I'll go through some of the upgrades that I'm doing to the boat. Yeah, without further ado, let's have a quick tour around the boat and yeah, have a look at some of the issues that I'm facing. Okay, so we'll start in the cabin, and I don't know if you can see, probably not really because of the light, but here and down underneath that light down there you might be able to see it's brown. So the boat at some point has had a leak, or it's had moisture and damp and not been looked after, and it's stained those two areas. Now, it's not got any worse this year, and it's not got damp, and we've had some terrible rain and wind, so whatever was leaking or condensing or whatever is now not through anything I've done, but it's not an issue now. So all I've got to do is I've just got to get those panels retrimmed just to tidy them up. The next issue I have is the barometer there on the wall and the clock there. They don't work, so we just need replacing. The problem is a 20-year-old boat. Finding replacements, not the easiest thing in the world. I think there are some around. I need to get in touch with a company called Seabridge Marine. They seem to have a lot of old Sealine parts, so yeah, we'll see what we can get from them. The next thing that was wrong was the seal on this port was knackered. It was leaking, so I've fitted a new seal up there. It's a 10-minute job, but doesn't leak anymore. Round here, now this is actually third party, this isn't factory fresh, but there's a TV aerial, comes up through there around the back of my cupboard, and behind here is a little booster for it, and it's not actually connected to anything. There is an aerial up on the arch, but the aerial in here isn't connected to anything, so got to run a new wire down from the arch for that to make the TV aerial work. This is a new stereo, just fitted this. This is one of my upgrades. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have had the running commentary on that. But that replaces a Sony car stereo that was fitted and yeah, was crap. The next thing that was wrong was all of these lights, these fittings here, throughout the entire boat were basically knackered. Now, you can't buy these anymore, so you'd have to replace the entire unit. So instead, you see these little black teeth. All it was is these teeth were snapped off, so the factory ones are these white clear plastic ones that match the front. But very cleverly, if you have a 3D printer, printed out new teeth, super glue them on, and voila, your light colours. So that saved roughly 40 quid a light. They're not fitted particularly well, but yeah, fixed them. And the bulb, if you can see, that's now LED, so we're LED bulbs throughout. The old ones were halogens. They do drain the battery like a trooper, but half of them didn't work either, so replace those. So lights, stereo, knackered, fixed. The next issue is the fridge. Now, it does work, don't get me wrong, it does work, but the seal around the bottom is knackered, and you can't get just a replacement seal, so I need to replace the whole thing. But that freezes up if I leave it on, because the seal is gone. So yeah, that's that. Into my lovely toilet. The pump head here with all the valves and everything needed a replacement. It looks like it had never been serviced, so just buy a service kit, 35 quid, serviced it, done, fine. The light up here, the bulb was knackered. Again, just stick a new bulb in. It's just like a little 4-watt flow tube. So yeah, that's that. So for the cabin area, apart from it just being a little bit tatty in some places, like down there, just needs a bit of a tidy up, and it needs a new carpet. Just it's manky, no amount of cleaning is going to fix that, so I'm going to put a new one down. But apart from that, that's the cabin. So the cabin's not too bad, and the one underneath, there's nothing wrong with the cabin in the back. Where some of the more major issues are up here. So let's start at the front. So when I got it, there was a GPS here, didn't work, so I've taken it out. I will replace that at some point. The light in the compass didn't work, so I've had to solder in a new LED, because you can't buy just an LED wiring kit for it, so I'll make it myself. The chart light that was here didn't work. Again, if you're following me on Instagram, you'll see that now works. That's a brand new chart light, all fixed. All the dash lights were out, so that's fixed. They all now work. All these switches weren't fitted right. They all now work. The radio was knackered, but the brokerage I bought it from, they fixed the radio. The steering column was loose. It's still got a bit of play in it because it's cable based, but yeah, for the most part that's fixed now. That was an old 12-volt cigarette style lighter, cigarette lighter style kind of input. Didn't work. Turns out it was actually loose at the back and was shorting, so I fitted a new twin USB. One's a fast charge port instead. There were controls for the searchlight. The searchlight wasn't working. Turns out all the controls, all the connections at the back were furred up. Again, it's age, it just needed maintenance. Yeah, all the bulbs were fixed. All these handles were loose. That one still is. I can't fix it until I can get this window off, but the handles were loose. They were also missing these caps over here, and there's a button underneath there to get it into neutral. That was missing, so I've had to buy and replace those and tighten those up. This is the trim tab controller. So the standard one was an L trim tab controller, very manual, do it all yourself. Didn't work. Didn't work very well. So this new one, I don't know if you can see that, is a Ment Marine, whatever it is, auto controller. So now I don't have to deal with trimming the tabs at the back. It does it for me. The next thing that's wrong up here is all the seals on the window are knackered. As you can probably see up there, it's going green. That's because we have a steady stream of water from up there that runs down, and you can see just how bad it all is here. And it's like that all the way around. Unfortunately, the entire seal is knackered on all the windows, and the runners are full. So I've got a window guy that used to work for Trend Marine, who are the guys that make these windows, so he's going to come out and do it as soon as we get some better weather than we've been having. The wiper blades are both knackered, new wiper blades added. This canopy is absolutely shafted. Now, I don't know if you can see here, so it was advertised as having new windows fitted to the canopy. Yeah, technically kind of true. In reality, not quite. So instead of actually unstitching properly as you should have and then fitting new windows, can you see the line there? And you see it around here a little bit, and there, and coming down here you can probably see it a little bit better. You can see there's a line over. So instead of actually fixing it properly, what we did was they cut the old window out with a pair of scissors or a knife and then just stitched the new window over the top. But as they went through, all the stitching around most of it is knackered, so the whole thing needs restitching and retrimming. There's an awful lot of broken zips up here that have never been fixed. We've got trim all ripped off down here. On these back panels, again, you can it's just double windowed. They've just cut the old one out rather than fixing it. I don't know if that's standard practice, but it's sloppy workmanship, however you label it. This zip's actually been repaired, but the one on the other side hasn't. Down there is a complete ripped up mess. So canopies are shafted, basically need a full replacement. The next thing that knackered is the old speakers were knackered, and the old panels were. They'd obviously been wet and never dried off. So they were made out of the same stuff as the seats. This is vinyl, and whilst it does hold its structure quite well, I don't know if you can see, but in here where water sits in its crack, it does actually go hard and crack eventually. and yeah, down here. So all the seats need a retrim and all the panels needed a retrim, and I needed new speakers, so I've retrimmed the panels and put new speakers in there. But that's yeah, so that all needed doing as well. These little catchers everywhere, lovely shiny new latches on there, and down there. The old ones of those were cream, but 20 years old. They're basically knackered and disintegrated, so replace those. Not the cheapest thing in the world. The final thing up here, I guess, really, it's this door. So whoever fitted the teak trim didn't cut it to shape to allow the door to clearance. So as you can see, there's a wet patch there, but if you look closely, you can see where the door is rubbing on it, and it rubs down into that corner. So it's basically, it's scrubbing the teak every time the door opens and closes, and that teak out there was never actually finished and sealed properly. So you can see that on the lip of the door here, it's really starting to go grainy and wear thin, and inside it isn't. So maybe that panel needs replacing, but what I'm going to do, probably because it's easier for me, is take this door off. Obviously I've got to retrim that panel as well, because that's vinyl, that's going grey like the arches, but I'm going to just stick a bandsaw down, cut an inch off the bottom and build a new bottom layer, and at the same time I'm going to reinforce and fix this, because this steel plate, yeah, the screws don't hold, because behind there, I don't know if you can just see, it's all cracked. And if we look to here, you can see, and that actually goes into the hole. It's missing a stainless steel plate here to stop the latch, which is on quite a strong spoon, from smashing through the hole. So the door needs a bit of work, and that teak needs a bit of cleaning up. And then there's just the remaining thing is there's a few spiders like this throughout there. So that's pretty much everything that was wrong, kind of cosmetically, if you like, from when I bought it. Now I'll go into the engines at another time. The only thing that's a new brake, which is entirely my fault, is, I don't know if you can see it, but the nav light just out there, this kind of thing here, yeah, I kicked it going up the front of the boat, and so that's knackered. So I've got a new nav light, but again, I've not had the weather to get and fit it. But apart from that, that's everything that's kind of wrong with the boat, certainly cosmetically. So yeah, over the next kind of, I don't know, season, 6 to 8 months, I'll be fixing most of these, upgrading most of these, and yeah, as you can see, some of them are already in place. But yeah, take care, I'll catch you later.